Hi everyone, this is Dr. Matt, and you're listening to Take Back Your Health, where we talk about all things health and ways to help you be the best version of you. Hey everybody, welcome back. And today we're going to talk about sleep. Why can't I sleep? Why can't I get a good night's sleep? Well, you're not alone, because about 50 to 70 million Americans suffer from some sort of insomnia. 1 in 3 adults have insomnia symptoms. Like chronic sleep loss can lead to things like fatigue, irritability, trouble concentrating, a weak immune system, and even increased anxiety. And I probably didn't know that sleeping less than 5 hours a night consistently can cut your life expectancy by 15%. You heard that right, 15%. So think about that next time you don't get enough sleep. And I know what you're thinking, it's not me. I can't help it. I just can't get to sleep. I don't know what's going on. I need help. First, I want to kind of talk a little bit about the importance of sleep, like why our body needs it. Because obviously sleep is a very vital part of our life. And the main reason is because then that's when the body has the opportunity to actually relax and repair itself. During the day when you're working, we're using our body parts, our muscles, we aren't able to heal ourselves as much. But during sleep, however, our brain kicks into fix mode. And that's why we hurt sometimes more at night, because our body is assessing itself, trying to figure out, what damage has been done during the day and telling us about it. So that's why people that say they can't get to sleep because they're hurting or they've got pain or their hips throbbing or something like that. Well, that's our body's way of saying, hey, like you've done some damage here. I'm letting you know about it. But I know sometimes that keeps us from getting to sleep, but that's the reason that happens. Now, the problem is like I said, that's preventing us from getting to sleep. But it's recommended to at least try to get 8 hours of sleep each night. Kids and older adults obviously need more than that. But if we're consistently on the go, we're not giving our bodies a chance to recover, it's going to start wearing down much faster, and those symptoms will set in. And that's why they're talking about getting less than 5 hours a night will cut your life expectancy pretty short. It's because we're on the go. We're wearing ourselves out more than we need to. If we're not getting the sleep that we need, our body doesn't have that chance to recover, and then things like that are going to happen. So I had a couple different things that I thought of that can help improve sleep, because obviously, sleep is such an important part of our life. Ways that I have found that can help with sleep are without taking medication, things like that. Because I know you see the drug commercials for the insomnia, and I can't even remember the names of them, but I know there's one with the butterfly, Lunesta, that's it. I think that's the one I see a lot. I don't even know if they even do that one that much anymore, but things like that, taking medication, that's not really the answer. If you're having trouble sleeping, you don't need to turn to toxic chemicals to try to get yourself to sleep. There are much more natural remedies out there that can help you with that. Even taking melatonin itself. Melatonin is the hormone for sleep, and you can take that natural supplement. But I know people that take it and it still doesn't help. Like I say, everybody's different, but taking the prescription medications to help us sleep, that's not really the answer. That's not what we need to do. But I have found a couple different ways to help for improving better sleep. First of all, exercising regularly will definitely help your sleep tremendously. When we're going about our normal daily routine, sometimes we're not doing enough physical activity, so to speak. So we're not using our bodies so much, so they're not getting used of all those energy sources and things like that. Like sitting behind a desk all day is exhausting, believe me. But it's not doing much as far as working your body. It's more causing more harm to your body, versus it just leads to bad posture, stiffness, tightness, the muscles, things like that. But we're not actively using our bodies as much as we're supposed to, and that can actually help to promote better sleep if we would start to exercise a little bit more regularly. because I feel like most of us at the end of the day are more mentally exhausted than we are physically. I know I am. I mean, as a chiropractor, my job is very physical because I'm working on people all day long, but also owning a business and treating people all day, talking to people all day. I find myself more mentally exhausted at the end of the day than I am physically exhausted. But if you include exercise on a regular basis, that will actually promote better blood flow in your body, increase the dopamine levels, which helps us feel better and will help us sleep better in turn. Now, I know most of us probably either watch TV or play on our phones before we go to bed. I know I do it myself, scrolling for hours without even thinking about it. It's really easy to do that. But you probably didn't know that the blue light that your cell phone gives off actually mimics daylight, and that suppresses melatonin, which, like I say, is the sleep hormone. And that'll keep us awake. So the blue light from your phone, the blue light from your television screen, things like that, that will actually prevent you from getting to sleep because it makes your body think it's still daylight. It interrupts your sleep-wake cycle. So you might find yourself having trouble getting to sleep if you keep scrolling on Instagram or Facebook or TikTok or whatever you're watching before you go to sleep. That can also help you feel like you're not sleepy enough. Now, when you wake up with a headache or you feel like you didn't sleep as well as you could, that actually could be a sign of sleep apnea, meaning that your brain is not getting enough oxygen either during the night, either due to snoring or a bad position, or if you're obstructing your esophagus, trachea, things like that. If you ever wake up with a really bad headache or you just feel extremely tired, lack of energy, that could be a sign of sleep apnea. So it's a really good indication to, if you wake up chronically like that, you probably definitely need to get checked, do a sleep test, sleep study to kind of see if you do have sleep apnea, and if something like a CPAP machine or something like that can help you, because it can make a tremendous difference in your sleep and your energy if you're not getting enough oxygen to your brain at night, because that's what your body needs, obviously, to repair itself is oxygen. So I know I sometimes have that problem, but you probably don't even know you snore unless your partner gives you a good kick in the middle of the night. So like I say, if that is something you deal with, that is probably definitely something you need to talk with your doctor about. But as far as the watching the phones and television before you go to bed, I recommend cutting off your screen time at least an hour before bed, and maybe either read a book or listen to some soft music or even journal are better ways to help you relax and shut down your mind before you go to sleep. Because I know many people have trouble sleeping because they can't shut off their minds. Thinking about what they did, what they didn't do that day, what they got to do the next day, that's exhausting. And this obviously will prevent a good night's sleep, and it can even lead to increased anxiety, depression, things like that. So it's a good practice to either find time to journal your thoughts before bed, or even just remember to breathe, take a couple deep breaths, do some meditation, things like that. Because, tomorrow's problems can wait until tomorrow. They should not be so much that they're going to interrupt a good night's sleep for you, because you can't really get that sleep back. You can't get that time back. So your body needs that time to rest and heal. So it's a good way to kind of practice good habits like that, to be able to get your mind off to where you can actually relax and repair yourself. And then one last thing I found that helps with sleep is to make sure that you're not eating or drinking too close to bedtime. Technically you're not supposed to eat past 7 o'clock at night, because you got to give your body enough time to digest the food in your stomach before you go to sleep. If you go to bed with a full stomach, you're going to risk some possible acid reflux issues, things like that, because, your stomach's trying to do its job and digest your food. But if you're in a position that makes it easy for the acid to start climbing upwards into your esophagus because you're laying down or laying on your side, that's going to increase your risk of acid reflux and problems like that. Sometimes you wake up in the middle of the night with that burning sensation in your throat, things like that. That's the reason why. I tell patients not to eat past 7 o'clock if you can help it, just because, like I say, that's going to cause some problems in your digestion. And even drinking right before bed also doesn't help, because if you're drinking a lot of water because you didn't drink that much during the day, I know you're probably trying to make up for it at the night before you go to bed. So if you drink a couple glasses of water, that's just gonna lead to more trips to the bathroom during the night, because I know that happens to me sometimes. And that's just going to interrupt your sleep cycle. So it's like you get to sleep, you wake up, you go back to sleep, you wake up. That's also going to do just as much damage as not even getting to sleep, because you're just not getting that REM sleep that most people need to get into, that have trouble getting into that, which is going to lead to those different symptoms, the irritability, the fatigue, the trouble concentrating, things like that. And also, plus if you're eating before bed or you're midnight snackers, things like that, your body's not going to burn those calories off, because you're not actively using it. You're just getting up to eat, or you're eating too late and you're going right to sleep. You're not doing anything to burn off those calories. And the body's very smart, so it's not going to just waste that food, waste that energy. So if you're eating real late at night, your body's going to store that in your fat cells. Not only are you going to be tired, but you're also going to be gaining weight. So I tell patients that understand, I only eat twice a day. I eat at lunch and I eat at dinner, but I eat dinner kind of late, and I just feel like I keep gaining weight. I can't lose weight. It's like, well, that's probably why. You're not eating at a right time to give your body enough time to burn off those calories, versus just storing it in your fat cells. And I don't know if you knew this, but cherries actually contain melatonin. I usually try to do a superfood here and there, to kind of give people some information on the foods that you need to eat, how they can actually help in ways that you didn't know. But cherries actually contain melatonin, and they found that drinking cherry juice can actually improve your sleep and the amount of sleep that you're getting. Now I'm talking about natural cherry juice. I'm not talking about ocean spray, things like that, because that's just mainly sugar. Natural cherry juice is actually pretty sour. It's got some tartness to it, so take that with a grain of salt. But if you do have trouble sleeping on a more regular basis, it's probably a good idea to try to maybe take a shot of cherry juice or so, and see if that helps. Because like I say, cherry juice helps with sleep because it does contain melatonin. But those are just some things that I have found that are more natural, easy habits to do, that don't involve medication, things like that. They're not too complicated to start adding to your sleep regimen. But that's my take on the importance of sleep and the ways to improve it. So I hope that your next night's rest is very restful, because your body needs that to become the best version of you. If you'd like to learn more about something you just heard, or are interested to see how chiropractic care can help you, you can visit our website to schedule an appointment at newdirectionschiropractic-nc.com. Be sure to follow our social media accounts for more tips and information on how to be a better you. Thanks for listening.